Okay, the laws of differentiation or the rules of differentiation and first principles, grade 12 calculus, May June 2022, exam memo, paper 1, question 8 from DBE. Okay, this is the question 8. Okay, 8.1, determine f prime of x or determine the first derivative of x from first principles if it is given that f of x is equal to minus x squared. This question is 5 marks. Okay, if I use the laws of differentiation or the rules of differentiation, the answer will be minus 2x. Okay, but the question says use the first principles. Okay, so 8.1, we are going to use the first principles. When they ask you to use the first principles, they want you to use this formula. Okay, this is the formula they want you to use. They can say use the first principles or use the definition. They still want you to use this formula. Okay, so this is the formula to use whenever they say use the first principles. And remember, you are going to have minus day. Always, you are going to have minus day because the formula is dealing with change in. This is why you have minus day. Always, you are going to have minus day. So f prime of x is equal to this. Okay, this is equal to the limit as h goes to 0. Okay, the limit as h goes to 0. So we start with f of x plus h. Okay, so you are going to take x plus h. You substitute in the wherever you see x, you put x plus h. Okay, so we start with this first. You have minus x squared. You are going to have minus x plus h in bracket squared, like this, minus x plus h, right, squared. You can see instead of x there, you have x plus h, right? This is what you do. So you can close everything inside the square bracket so that you don't confuse. So we are done with x plus h. Let's carry on. Now you have minus. Okay, now you are going to take x. After taking x plus h, now you are going to take x. You substitute in there wherever you see x. So this is what you are going to get, minus x squared. Okay, so this is what you are going to have. Let's put everything inside the square bracket. So you are going to have minus x squared, right? This is over h, right? You carry on. This is equal to the limit as h goes to 0. Okay, you have this square bracket minus. Now you are going to expand this bracket. Okay, so you have x to the power of 2. This is x squared, right? We are expanding the bracket. X to the power of 2, it's x squared. And you have x times h and then times 2. It's 2xh. Okay, so you are going to have plus 2xh. And then plus h to the power of 2. This is plus h squared. And you close your bracket and you close your square bracket. Okay, minus, you still have this. This is over h. Okay, you carry on. This is equal to the limit as h goes to 0. Okay, now you have minus right in front of this bracket. Everything inside of the bracket, the signs are going to change. So you are going to have minus x squared and then minus 2xh, right? Minus 2xh and then minus h squared. So everything inside of the bracket change the sign because you have minus in front of the bracket. Okay, so this is what you have. You carry on. You have minus in front of this bracket, right? The square bracket. So everything inside of the square bracket are going to change the sign. So you have this. You are going to have plus x squared. So this is over h. You can see you have minus x squared plus x squared. Okay, this is 0, right? Minus x squared plus x squared. This is 0. Okay, so you are left with minus 2xh minus h squared. Okay, let's carry on. This is equal to the limit as h goes to 0. So what you can do is to take h outside of the bracket. Okay, you have h in there and you have h in there. So you can take h outside of the bracket so that you can have cancellation with the h at the bottom. So you take h outside of the bracket, you have minus 2x, right? Minus 2x remaining, and you have minus h. So you close the bracket. So this is over h, and you can see you can cancel, right? Okay, now what you can do is to substitute 0 for h. You are going to put 0 wherever you see h, and whenever you substitute 0 for h, you are going to drop this part. Okay, this is the only time you are going to drop this part. Whenever you substitute 0 for h, you are going to drop this part. Okay, we can do that. So you have minus 2x and minus h. Okay, so this is equal to minus 2x and minus h. You are going to substitute 0 for h. So you are going to have minus 0. Okay, you substitute 0 for h. You have minus 0. This is equal to minus 2x. Okay, so you have this as your final answer. Okay, so let's carry on. Now it's 8.2. Let me draw a line here. Now 8.2. Determine 8.2.1 f prime of x if it is given that f of x is equal to 4x cubed minus 5x squared. The question is 2 marks. Okay, you are given f of x is equal to this, right? So 8.2.1, you are given f of x is equal to this. Okay, this is what you are given, right? You can see. So f prime of x is equal to, you have the exponent is 3 and the coefficient is 4. So you have 3 times 4, it's 12. X to the power of 3 minus 1, right? X to the power of 3 minus 1. So this is to the power of 2. Okay, let's carry on. You have your exponent is 2 and the coefficient is minus 5. So 2 times minus 5, this is minus 10. X to the power of 2 minus 1. So you subtract 1 from the exponent, you are going to have x to the power of 1. Okay, so this is your final answer. Okay, now question 8.2.2. This is the question 8.2.2. You are given this. Okay, you have to find the derivative with respect to x. Okay, before we can find the derivative, you have to clean up this. Okay, you have to get rid of the cube root sign and you have to take this x to the power of 4, you have to take it to the top. So we have this, right? We take this to the top. Now you have x to the power of negative 4. Okay, so this is going to multiply every term that you have there above this line. Okay, so you are going to multiply by this. I'm going to put everything in the bracket. Okay, so I have negative 6 x to the power of 1 over 3. When I get rid of this, I'm going to have x to the power of 1 over 3. So now I have this as my exponent. This is my exponent, 1 over 3. And then plus 2. I close the bracket and I close the square bracket. So this is equal to, you still have this because we are not taking the derivative. That's why you still have this. Okay. So you have this times this. So you have minus 6. Okay, minus 6. And this times this. According to the laws of exponent, when you multiply two terms that have got the same basis, you're going to add the exponent. So you are going to have x to the power of what? Negative 4 plus 1 over 3. Right? Negative 4 plus 1 over 3. This is minus 11 over 3. Okay, minus 11 over 3. You carry on. Now you have this times 2. So you have plus 2x to the power of negative 4. Okay, I can close my square bracket. This is equal to, now I can take the derivative. So I'm going to drop this. You have this as your exponent your exponent is minus 11 over 3. You multiply by the coefficient, which is negative 6. Okay, so you have minus 11 over 3 times negative 6. This is 22. Okay, so you have 22 x to the power of this minus 1. Okay, you subtract 1 from the exponent. So you have minus 11 over 3 minus 1. You are going to have minus 14 over 3. Let's carry on. Now you have your exponent is negative 4 and your coefficient is 2. So negative 4 times 2. This is negative 8 x to the power of negative 4 minus 1, which is x to the power of minus 5. Okay, you get this when you subtract 1 from this exponent. Okay, so this is your final answer to question 8.2.2. Okay, we are done with question 8 from May-June 2022. Okay, until next time, I will talk to you soon.